Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. We are here for a special episode of the News Dump. And usually it is Mr. Wally Phelps joining me for the News Dump. But this month, I have joining me, and my name is Jason Robbins, by the way, if you're new to the show. And joining me is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joey Image. How you doing, sir?
Hey man, how are you? Thanks for
I'm
having me on.
For
Well,
this
I'm
episode,
upset with Wally for his reason for not being here.
yeah, but he doesn't follow the news we're going to be talking
Yeah,
about this
that's
episode.
the reason I'm upset about.
But the big news that happened this week, uh,
Wait, did you ever? Sorry to cut you off. Did you ever watch the Tom Green show when it was on MTV? Actually, when it was on MTV,
I was
or
never a Tom Green fan.
oh man, he had this guy Phil Giroux. So the set just looked like he was in his living room, and there was a window, and this guy Phil would just stand out like on the other side of the set, so it looked like he was outside the window and just drink coffee. Didn't speak or nothing. He would drink coffee, and every once in a while he would giggle. Wally should just do that.
I always,
They didn't even acknowledge he was there. It was so good.
to this day, I still think that Freddy Got Fingered is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
The movie's hilarious, dude.
I hated that movie. I still hate it to this
I mean, I
day.
liked it except minus the masturbation scene, but the rest of it was good. And it wasn't even a person. That's what I didn't like about it. But
You ever seen a movie that it just immediately puts you in a bad mood as soon as you watched it? That's that movie for me.
oh man, Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Oh God, stop. He just did like for some reason Tom Green popped up on my Twitter the other day and he did that. He just posted, "Daddy, would you like some sausage?" and I immediately blocked him.
Like the video or he just
No,
typed it in text?
he just typed it as text. Said, "Daddy, would you like some sausage?" and I was like, "Nope, not dealing with you." I just blocked him.
Oh, that's amazing. How did it show up there if you didn't follow? Somebody retweeted or
That's
something.
Twitter's gotten weird lately, man. I'm
Yeah,
like all kind of stuff's popping up for me that I
that's so
don't follow.
funny.
It's so
So yeah,
weird.
so we could have put Wally in like a smaller window, either in between us or like in the background somewhere, just drinking a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
So funny.
he could
It
have
was
came
funny
on.
because it was awkwardly funny, I guess, because they never
Yeah.
acknowledged that he was standing there. Like Tom Green would interview whoever he was talking to, and this guy Phil would just be in the back, just with a cup of coffee. Like,
So weird.
yeah, but it was uncomfortably funny. However you say that word.
Oh man.
Anyway,
But
sorry.
the big news for this week that we're going to cover, and the reason I had Joey on here for this episode is if you are a follower of anything Blizzard, or especially if you're a World of Warcraft player, a huge announcement happened this week. Something that we never thought would happen. Chris Metzen is back at Blizzard this week. It was announced, and he retired like 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think was it
Or
2017 or
yeah, it
16
was
or
somewhere
something.
around there.
I
And
I should have looked that up because I don't remember.
he left a few years before all the crap went to hell at
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard. And he kind of started the ball rolling of
Sep September of 2016. It
yeah.
was a Tuesday. I remember getting out of the shower and there was a text from my wife with a screenshot of the announcement, and I'm like, "What?" I immediately texted him like, "What's happening?" And then, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about our whole conversation, but I was very shocked.
But if you're a World of Warcraft, if you're a follower of World of Warcraft of Blizzard, this is akin to like Disney, like George Lucas going back to Disney to do Star Wars stuff. Like this is huge
Yeah.
news. He was one of the original, the creator writers of the entire World of Warcraft story, history, background. He did the voice of Thrall, who is one of the main characters of World of Warcraft.
He
So
did a couple lesser known
yeah,
voices too, I think, lesser known characters. He was in the movie too. He was cut out, but he was in the movie.
yeah, it said, and I have an article here pulled up, and there's no shortage of articles about this. The one I have pulled up is from The Verge. It said that he started in the company in 1994 as
Yeah.
an artist on the original Warcraft. From there, he lent his artistic talents to other Blizzard games, contributing to lore, storytelling, and cinematics. He also lent his voice to Thrall, and even co-produced the 2016 Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of stuff at Blizzard over the last couple of decades. He was even a part of Overwatch, getting that going because he was
He
originally
if I remember correctly, he was part of the group that that
Mhm.
just invented Overwatch to begin with.
Yeah, well, it was originally
I think it
supposed to
was
be.
his like brainchild, but it was I believe it was obviously his idea, and the team kind of made it what it is today.
Well, originally, Overwatch was originally known as Titan, which was
Titan
going to be a first-person
MMO.
MMO from Blizzard, but then it got turned into Overwatch. And I think that a lot of that, I think that had a lot to do with him leaving, but there was just a lot of, you could tell with the Activision taking over Blizzard, there was probably just a lot of corporate stuff that just put a sour taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah, I'm
That's why
sure.
he started the avalanche of, all those original people leaving
Yeah, I mean,
Blizzard.
Mike Morheim is left too, and he was the freaking man. He was the president. He was,
Mhm.
the head honcho. I mean, him and Chris were on the same team that started the company, but I mean, that was another shocker when he left. And then again, like I said, Chris leaving in September 2016 was like the first one that kind of got that ball rolling.
But you actually, you talk with Chris Metzen pretty regularly, and
Yeah, actually, before this announcement came out, we had spoken that morning, which I don't even remember when the hell that announcement was. Was it Friday, Thursday, something like that?
that
We
was like
spoke that
Wednesday,
morning. Just him. Well, say again.
I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday this happened.
Oh, was that long ago? I don't even remember now.
What day
I thought
was
it
it?
was like well, in my mind it was
That was
yesterday. So I'm like,
Thursday.
it must have been. Oh, it was Thursday.
It was
So
Thursday.
yeah,
Yeah.
so him and I talked like for the previous couple days before that, and he never mentioned anything. I mean, he's not going to tell me. I'm just some nobody. You know what I mean? But so he's been like trying to do like the weight loss and working out thing like I've been trying to do. So we've been talking a lot about that over the past couple months and kind of like shooting each other a text about each other's progress or whatever. Well, by the way, somebody called me out on this on another podcast, but when I say text, to me that means DM on Twitter, Facebook message, or
Yeah.
actual text message through the phone. It's all the same to me. So it's the same finished product, right? I'm still sending you a text message, whether
Yeah. It's all
regardless of
messages
what.
and they're all text. So
Right. So when I say text, I'm not saying like, oh, I texted him right away. Like, no, we've just been talking. Somebody else was like, I forgot what the hell we were talking about. And they were like, you didn't text him. You don't have his phone number. I'm like, that's not what I meant, man. Like, I just sent him a message in text form. What's the
yeah.
difference? If I tweet you, I say the word text. It's just whatever.
Yeah,
But
it's a
anyway,
message. It's a message made up of text. So it's
correct.
a text message.
Yeah. So yeah, so we've been talking about the weight loss thing back and forth, and it like never even came into my head that like this would happen. And so when I saw it was another thing when he retired. Like I said, I got out of the shower. My wife had texted me a screenshot of the thing. She was already at work that day. Thursday, I got out of the shower. She had texted me a thing because Thursdays I work from home. So sometimes I won't shower right when I get up. I'll wait till like my lunch break and I'll shower. So I was I don't know if she was at work. I think she was at work. And she texted me the screenshot of. I'll read it now. The actual initial announcement from John Haidt, who's the GM of the Warcraft team. And I saw it and I was like, whoa! And I immediately texted Chris and I was like, you sneaky little devil, man. We've been talking. We talk once or twice a week, but it had been like 3 or 4 days in a row that we talked. And I mean, he's busy. I'm busy. Blah blah. I get it. But I was like, you didn't even say anything about this. He's like, it's just an advisor role. It's nothing big. Like they really blew it up, right? So this is the actual announcement from John Haidt. I like that he starts with citizens of Azeroth, not like dear Blizzard fans or players. Like every other game can go
Yeah.
screw for
I
now.
still consider myself a citizen of Azeroth, even though I haven't played the game in like 6 years.
Yeah, I was just playing before we started. It is with great joy that I announce Chris Metzen, and I like Chris Metzen in all capitals. That's pretty funny. Has joined the Warcraft leadership team as a creative advisor. Chris's focus initially will be on WoW. Then his work will expand to other projects across this growing franchise. I'm like super curious to see what that means. Like, he's initially going to work on WoW right now until when? Like something has to happen. Like until what? The new expansion comes out, or until they get back to maybe a certain amount of subscribers, and then he's going to move on to something else. Chris was one of the original team members working on the Warcraft universe back when it began in '94. We're so happy to be reuniting him with the world he helped create. From John Haidt, GM of Warcraft. So yeah, he had a lot, like you said, he had a lot to do with the animations, the voiceover stuff, storytelling. I mean, the guy's got a ton of worlds in his pockets, I'm sure. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
curious to see if this interferes. I don't think it will, but if this interferes with his new company, Warchief Gaming,
that's what I was
um,
wondering.
yeah, I'm assuming it won't because, like I said, or like he says right now, this is just an advisory role, which to me means I think he doesn't even have to like go to the office. Like,
Well, that says to me that maybe he's going to be like as an advisor. I feel like they've kind of lost the reason I stopped really playing the game. I kind of feel like they lost their way for a little while as far as like the story of World of Warcraft and everything. It just didn't capture my attention anymore
yeah,
like it did in those first 3, 4, 5 expansions. And I really feel like that when Chris, as I felt like he was not,
heart and soul.
yeah, like his heart and soul wasn't in it towards the end there, and I felt that in the game. But I feel like maybe him stepping away for a few years, him coming back in an advisor role, maybe they're just kind of like, hey, would you do this? Would you do that? What do you suggest here?
This is the one
And
thing he's like, okay, that'll do.
yeah, exactly. Because you think about it, like he doesn't need the money. I mean, the guy's got plenty of money. He's got his
Yeah,
new tabletop gaming, Warchief Gaming, with his new tabletop game, Ouroboros is it called, I think.
yeah. Yeah,
He's got all
they
that.
just did a Kickstarter actually. It ended a couple months ago, and it's basically a fifth edition D&D campaign. And there's I mean there's books and there's audio books and it's really cool. I haven't gotten any of it yet. I unfortunately missed the Kickstarter deadline, but fingers crossed. I'm hoping to
Yeah,
get some of that stuff that him and I
but
have
that
discussed.
it's just kind of like what would it have to be to for him to come back in that
Yeah,
capacity? And I do also feel like a lot of it is, I feel like a lot of people left when Chris left that game because it hasn't been what it was for years now.
yeah.
And
For next week we're going to see like Mike Morheim returns to Blizzard. Jeff
yeah,
Kaplan is back in the Overwatch team. Wow, what's going on here?
I
Ben
mean,
Brode just killed. Just Ben Brode just shut down Second Dinner. Now he's back at Blizzard.
yeah,
Like,
with all the
wow, what's going
bad
on?
press, with all the bad press and everything bad that happened, in what was it, 2020 or whatever, when all that
Yeah,
stuff happened.
2021, 2020, something like that.
I think this is maybe a act or Blizzard just being like, we need some good PR here.
Yeah. I
And
think like he's done interviews with Scott before, Johnson.
Mhm.
Um where that stuff has been, they talked about that in depth, and what Chris said was like he wasn't even aware of it. And a lot of people said, I know a lot of people said online, and I got in arguments with people about this, like you're working in the same building with these people, how do you not know what's going on? And the thing that I don't think people realize about Blizzard is there's not just one building, there's two or three buildings. So
Mhm.
there's like the main campus here, and then you go across the street, which is like it's like a 6-lane highway. It's not really a highway, but it's like 3 lanes and 3 lanes, and then there's one or two other buildings on the other side. Like I was lucky enough to get to tour them all, but I mean, so it's very possible for somebody to be working in this main building and not see anyone that works in the other buildings, but they're still considered on campus. So like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what's going on that you may not. It could be something good like, hey, so and so just made whatever. We finished the final touches on this expansion today, and you would never know it because the guy's in another building working on it. And so until you're told, you may not be aware of it. But so he talked about that with Scott, and he said he didn't know what was going on. He did wasn't he would kind of just go in and do his stuff, and like that's kind of it. Like that's what he was there for, to do his job. So, but like you're saying, I think that Blizzard is thinking like, hey, this guy everyone loves. Everyone loved him. He was like in my eyes, he's like the face of the company. He's the face of World of
Yeah.
Warcraft, at least. Um, I mean, when they would do the BlizzCon events, he was the one up there speaking. He was the one doing the what
And
do you
I
call
think he got tired of doing that too,
it?
honestly. I
Maybe. I
think
mean,
maybe him coming back, maybe one of the stipulations was like,
I'm
I
not
don't
doing it.
I don't want to do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, but he was the guy on stage, with the mic making the announcements for the expansions, and it's like I said, he was the face of the company. He was the face of BlizzCon, the event itself. I mean, so and he's been like you said before, he's been there since '94 with Warcraft, and it's like so this like the retirement itself was a shock. The return, I think, is an even bigger shock. Because I mean, this is not like pro wrestling, where like I'm the only guy in wrestling that ever said I'm going to retire and actually retired. Everyone else, Terry Funk has retired 7 times. Other guys, Steve Austin retired. He just worked this year. They're talking about bringing him back next year. So that's the only thing I really can associate this as far as retirement, because I'm retired from wrestling. But this is like, wow, this is so what I'm saying is it's not this is not an industry where someone says I'm going to
Yeah.
retire and then they return 18 times.
Yeah, but the
Like,
thing is,
it's been 6 years.
I just listened to an interview he did with Scott like a week ago.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
Yeah, the new interview that he did was like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like a week and a half ago.
No indication
No,
whatsoever. He
no,
talked about
nope.
War Chief Gaming. He talked about, retirement, all that stuff. And then a week later, it's like Chris
Yeah.
Madsen's back at Blizzard. I'm like, bullshit.
I was like, how did Scott not know about this? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, when they announced that, like, I realized, like, all right, this is a huge thing. So, like, there's no way he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna let it leak like prior to them being ready to announce it, I guess. There was another rumor that this has been in the works since the end of 2021.
Really?
I don't know. I saw that in like just somebody else's YouTube videos that was talking about it. That
I
was
mean,
like,
maybe,
supposedly this, yeah, I mean, maybe it was just, hey, give me a year, let me see what I want to
yeah, let me
do.
think about it, or
Right.
let me come up with my terms for
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back.
yeah. And we'll get
Because
back in touch next
honestly,
year or something. I mean,
Activision Blizzard, I mean, they don't to get him back, I don't think they had much bargaining chips. It was basically like, we want you to come back. What do you want?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're in the crapper
What
right
can
now.
we
Can you
give
help us
you
out?
for you to
Right.
come back?
Yeah.
So, and I think he was like, look, I want to work like 2 days a week. I want to work from home. I don't want to come in the office. I don't want to be the face of the company. I just,
Yeah.
whenever you have something you want to ask me about, I will be there to answer the phone, but that's about it. And pay me.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But,
So,
I don't know.
like he told me, it's just an advisor role. He said they
Yeah.
really blew that up, didn't they? I'm like, it's a big deal. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if, I don't know if he meant that in the sense of it's just an advisor. It's not really that big of a thing, and they blew it up. Like, holy crap, Chris is back. Or if he just doesn't realize like how big of a thing this is. Like,
I think he doesn't realize how big
this is
of a deal
like,
he is.
I mean, yeah, to put it in my terms, which is pro wrestling, this is like, you know, Hulk Hogan dying, and then 6 years later it comes back. He shows
Yeah.
up on TV. Like,
I was just about to say, I was just thinking like this would be like Randy Savage coming back from
yeah,
the
yeah.
dead.
Okay, so
It'd be
he
like
actually did die. Well, he went through it the whole thing. So yeah,
because
this
it
is like
seriously,
him
I mean,
showing
it
up on Raw
seriously,
tomorrow night, and like
if
the whole world's like, oh my god.
to be a World of Warcraft, Blizzard fan as I was for so long, I love the Diablo games. I've never really played Overwatch, but I was a huge World of Warcraft player, and to know that he is coming back, I mean, that's literally like George Lucas coming to
Yeah,
be an advisor role at
I'm
Disney.
still a WoW guy. I mean, like I said, I was playing just before we went live today, and
Mhm.
I've been playing since before it came out, man. I was in the alpha in 2003, and then obviously the final release the release came out in 2004, November 23rd. But I've been playing ever since, and I'm like, then I think about like I got the new expansion Dragonflight, which is like a week and a half, 2 weeks, 2 weeks since its launch, and I'm like, man, I've been playing this game since for 18 years. Like,
Uh,
this is insane. Like in 2 years, it'll be 20 years that WoW has been a thing.
I
And I'm
started
like,
playing
and they still make new stuff. Like, it's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean, it's the game I started playing in 2006.
Yeah.
And I think February of 2006 is when I started playing. And I stopped playing after Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I
I
was
just
not a
stopped
fan.
playing during that expansion. And that
Yeah,
was
that
around
was the expansion. It's funny you
2015 or
mentioned
so.
that while we're talking about Chris, because that was the expansion where I stopped playing. I let my subscription go, like still whatever. I didn't cancel it. But him and I met in 2015 at Nerdtacular, Scott Johnson's convention, and so we got on the topic of WoW, obviously, and I was like, oh, I don't play anymore. I'm not a Warlords guy. And I had a few drinks in me, because in my head I'm like, you can't say this to him. This is God of Warcraft. You can't tell him that you don't like something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I just don't like it, dude. It's just it depends. It relies too much on this one thing, and I'd rather go do this other stuff, blah blah blah. So we like had a conversation about it, and I was like, man, I don't know, that must have been the beer talking, because I usually, like I wouldn't have said something like that to that guy.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I stopped playing during Warlords too, and then when the next one came out, which I don't even remember what the next one was, but it's back there in my wall, not that you can see it.
It's
Um,
really got me interested to maybe try the game again. I don't
the
know.
new one is so good.
I'm
Dude, you can
curious.
fly dragons now. It's
Yeah,
so, I mean, you can always fly on dragons, but now you actually fly the thing, and you can like control the speed, and
that's
you can
cool.
go up and down, and there's courses where there's like big rings you got to fly through, and you get points on the experience points on the screen. It's so cool, and it's super fast. Like it goes real fast, and I'm not any good at it yet. It's so hard to pick up, but it's so much fun.
Because even though I wasn't playing the game anymore, I was still listening to World of Warcraft podcasts and stuff like
Yeah,
as long as it was going.
yeah.
I
When I
still
stopped
felt
playing for a little while, like I said, I stopped playing like during Warlords because I just wasn't into Warlords. But I still listen to like the instance every week, and there was a World of Warcast, Star Mike's podcast. Him and I don't remember who else was his co-host, but Mike Gaines. But I used to listen to that all the time too. And same thing, like you said, like even if I wasn't playing, I would still listen. So I'd still keep up with it. So when I got back into it, I kind of knew where I was.
yeah. Same here. I always thought one day I would get back into it. So, and I still just love that world. I love the game. And like just the thought of Chris Metzen coming back, I'm like, damn it, they're gonna suck me back into this game
Yeah, there's
with
still
him being
so
there.
there's games that I don't play anymore but I still love like the original EverQuest and like Dark Age of Camelot. Like I loved those games when I was playing. I was obsessed with Camelot before until WoW came out. But like I still love that. Like I'll still go back. Like once a year they do this like come back to Camelot thing where they give you like one free week and you
Yeah.
just log in and play. And like I'll still do that once a year. I mean it's still $15 a month, but I don't pay it. But like that's what I was doing before WoW, and I'm just WoW is like, I mean, I don't know how Days Gone got so much of my attention, given how into WoW I still am, but like, those are my top two of all time. They have to be just based on the amount of time I play them.
That's what really draws me into games like that. Even Days Gone and World of Warcraft. Just like I love story, and I love
Yes,
story that will
yep.
suck me into the game.
I'm trying to get speaking of METZEN, I'm trying to get him onto Days Gone now because I'm like, dude, you love story, like you're a story guy, you would love this. And I sent him a message yesterday. I was talking about it, but I don't know if he has a PS4 or PS5 or whatever. I mean, I have a PS5 back here. It's still for sale. Anyone's interested, let me know. It's getting
Yep,
close
you
to
need a
Christmas.
PS5 for Christmas. Hit up at Joey Image TV
Yeah,
on.
on everything, on every social platform.
But that brings us to the end of this little. We went a little bit long, but that's okay here on
It's
for
because
the
I
Weekday
was going a
Retro
tangent about other crap.
news dump. No, that's fine. I love talking about Warcraft and stuff like that, and I knew
Yeah,
this news is just big. I couldn't let this week go by without talking about it.
yeah. It's like I said, like when he told me, like, man, they really kind of blew that up. Like, I don't think he realizes how big of a deal this is to us players. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have become friends with Chris. Like I said, we talk often. We met in 2015. We've been kind of buddies ever since. I mean, when my wife and I are out in California, we do dinner or we did lunch together a couple years ago when we were out there. Dinner, whatever. So, dude, Chris, we love you. If you somehow see this, we love you. Congratulations, by the way. That's awesome. That's
Comes
in
out
order too.
when this comes out, retweet it and tag him in it, so he can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put this video on my YouTube. I'll tag him in that as well. But
Awesome.
congrats on the return. I'm sure it's gonna be enormous. I'm really curious. So I'm curious to see the WoW stuff. But that one line in the announcement that said, and then he will move on to other projects or whatever it said, whatever the wording was. I'm really curious to see what that is. Obviously, I'm curious about the WoW stuff because WoW is my number one Blizzard game. That and Overwatch are like my top two Blizzard favorites. But I'm really curious to see what that means. Like,
Oh,
is he gonna be the Overwatch 3 guy now that 2 is out? I mean, I
or
don't know.
maybe
I'm
they're planning
curious.
on new Warcraft products. Maybe they're coming out with Warcraft 4, and they need him for story ideas.
Yeah, that's been like a request from a lot of people in the community for years, and I would love it. I did get I got 3 when they did 3 Reforged, but it was like super buggy and stuff, and I didn't
Yeah,
play it very long.
I
But
think
Warcraft
RTSs are going to
4,
make a big comeback here soon.
I would love to see that. I mean, I can't wait for Diablo 4, and I'm not even a big Diablo guy. Like, I don't know. I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'm not like I said, I ain't a big Diablo guy, but I have Diablo Immortal on my phone. I have it on my PC, but I'm curious about Diablo 4. Maybe he's gonna have something to do with that because that's not
Maybe.
out yet, so who knows? But I'm definitely curious to see what he's gonna do. And I love you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we love you, and we're glad you're back.
Yeah,
And even though it's not
absolutely.
full capacity, but we love to have you back in that world.
Now
But
I'm gonna have to do a second tour of Blizzard headquarters, but with Chris there, because last time it was after he had already left, just a couple months actually.
well, before we go, let everybody know where they can find your stuff at. And if you want to watch the video of this, if you're listening to it and you want to watch our video, Joey's going to put this up on his YouTube channel.
Yes, youtube.com/JoeyImageTV. I'm just at JoeyImageTV on every social platform: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, whatever else there is.
Yeah,
I don't even remember now. There's so
just look up
goddamn
Joey
many of them.
Image TV, and you'll
Yeah,
find it
I think
everywhere.
the only one I don't have, I'm not on is Snapchat because I still don't understand it. But
I don't
otherwise, oh, Instagram, yeah, Joey Image TV. I don't know. Just hit me up on Twitter. That's the one I'm on the most.
And if you like this little news dump episode, usually they're not this long, but that's okay. Usually it's just the big news of the week or whatever. If you like this extra content stuff we do, head over patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. Give us $1 a month and you'll get access to it. We're going to put this one out for everybody. Like I said, it's a Christmas miracle. We're putting this out for everybody.
That's
And
why he
go
came back
follow
to
us.
Blizzard.
Yeah, go follow us at Nerd Cave Retro.
Metzen puts the Chris in Christmas.
Yeah, ooh, that's good. I like that. Should I make that the title of this? The Metzen puts the Chris in Christmas.
I like it.
But
As long as
yeah,
I get credit. If
yeah,
that
go
gets
follow
copyrighted,
me.
I want the royalties.
Go follow me at JFunktastic. Go follow Joey at Joey Image TV. And thank you for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys next week.